Hello, welcome back to my channel, Knits by Mandy. My name is Amanda, and today we have the 20th episode of the Knits by Mandy podcast. I can't believe we are at the 20th episode. It means 20 months of monthly podcasts, and it'll also be coming up on my anniversary of YouTube in January. So all very exciting times here. I am reporting that it has now been 3 months without a finished object on the Knits by Mandy podcast because you're not getting another one this month. I do have more whips to show you and more whip updates, so it will just be a very whip heavy episode, and fingers crossed, maybe I can have everything off my needles by December when I talk to you next. Probably not at the rate that we're going. I feel like I say that every month, and I'm almost nearing my end of being finished objectless, but it has given me the opportunity to think a little bit differently about the content that I'm creating, especially over on Instagram, because I feel like a lot of my content in what usually I think is like the best to post and like the performs the best is finished objects. And so when you don't have any, you're like, what do I show you? But I did get to experiment. I did a few weeks ago. I made it a point to get dressed every day because I work from home and wear one of my hand knit items. And that was a really fun creative experience, I think, both for creating the content and also like getting dressed every morning in a way that's like intentional and not just like a decent top and stretchy bottoms, which there's nothing wrong with that, but there's something to be said, I think, about getting fully dressed, and that's something that I'm doing every day by any means. Other note is that we are a little low tech in this episode. I'm using my AirPods for a mic. I left all of my YouTube equipment, which is just a tripod and a mic, at home. I ordered another microphone, but you're currently on a stack of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books and code names. So that's what we're just dealing with, but nothing stops me from filming. I will persist. November was a very busy month, a very fun month. I got to go away for a few weekends. We were in Baltimore for one night, celebrating my boyfriend's birthday. We got to see some of his family, and then we had to go, and then we went to a Ravens game. I come from Pittsburgh. I am a Steelers fan at heart, but like, I don't care about football nearly as much as my boyfriend, so that was fun to go with him. And then the next weekend, I did a little fall trip with my girlfriend. Every year we go to this hotel in Shepherdstown, West Virginia called the Bavarian Inn. It started as a joke, but it is genuinely one of my favorite things to do every year, is go on this overnight trip to this wacky German-themed hotel and just get some time outside of the city. And then I got to spend a week or so in Pittsburgh with my family. We threw a baby shower for my cousin, and now I am back and on the way to recouping from a long holiday weekend week and kind of gearing up for December. So with that, we can jump into all the whips. I do have progress. Like, I do have very good progress. However, it's just going so much slower on everything than I thought. And I think a lot of this is because I'm usually a monogamous knitter, and I haven't been recently, and I'm noticing that really kind of slows you down, So let's start with the top thing that I've been working on, which is my folklore cardigan. So I will just go through and update you on all the panels that I have done yet real quickly. First, I have the back panel. I finished this, I think, in early November. No, I finished this in October. I started this in October, finished this in October. This is the back panel, okay? We have this. You've seen this. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. I have both front panels done. These are gorgeous. I love them. They're done. All right. Here's the other side panel. And then I have the sleeve. So this is done, which is great. I think I was finishing one of the panels in my last, I think I did like a panel and a half in a sleeve this month, which feels like a lot, right? And it is a lot. So had a mishap. I had this bright idea where I was going to attach the panels to the back panel before doing the sleeves, and that way I could do the button band. And then one night I started seaming, and I now like a dummy. I know I should have been seaming the shoulder, right? You would seam these two edges together if you wanted to create a neckline. For some reason, I just started seaming up the side, and I seamed all the way up like this. Well, it was really on the other side. And I posted this on my Instagram stories because I was like, and I seamed up this entire side like this. Am I missing something? Yeah, that would be the sleeve, Amanda. You missed the sleeve. I even started rounding the bend, and then I was like, wait a second, I'm making a pillowcase. Like, I'm making a cape. Taylor Swift, have your merch team call me. Ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking really. And so I was like, we're just putting a hold on this until we have the sleeves. I think I understand now. I could attach these shoulders and also do the button band, but I'm just like in too deep. Actually, maybe I will do that next. Because this sleeve, I also felt like took me a dumb amount of time. I keep thinking each panel is going to take me less and less time, but that's like not how knitting really works. Like, you don't get that much exponentially quicker as you knit. And so I did notice I made one mistake on the sleeve, but I'm living with it, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to deal with it. So if you see on the back panel, you can see that framing the triangles are a big 8 stitch cable, and then a tiny little 2 stitch cable. And that's what's supposed to frame the diamond cable section. And the same motif, in theory, is supposed to be replicated on the sleeve. Imagine that. And if you look closely, did it right on this side, but not correctly on this side. So the 8 stitch cable is next to the diamonds instead of this 2 stitch cable. I noticed this about halfway in, and I'm already feeling like a little snail pace on this sweater. So I said, we're living with it. I think only one person was like, no, frog it. And I was like, sorry, babe, it's not happening. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna knit the second one wrong. I'm gonna knit it identical to this and knit it wrong, but they'll be wrong together. And then what I'll do is I'll attach it so that when I attach the sleeve, that's wrong. The right side, like the part with the cable, is showing on the inside, because I don't really care what's on like here, my arm. I can't really see it. I'm gonna be the one that has to look at this sweater, so I'll look at the right side and see, oh, like I did this correctly. Does that make sense? I'll just attach them so that I can see the one part that I did right. It's looking so cute. The cables are so crisp and yummy. I'm very excited to see how this blocks. So I just have to bang out the last sleeve, then attach everything, and then attach the button band, and I still have to get buttons, but yeah. I've also been going back and forth. So this is and I've kind of just skipped over what this pattern is called because I've been working with it for so long, but this is the folklore cardigan pattern by Amy Gunderson, and it is knit in kelbourne woolen scout and natural and charcoal heather. And I'm also knitting the size small. The original Taylor Swift cardigan that says folklore on it. I'm not doing that because I don't want to. But the other thing that I've been thinking about is she puts silver star patches on the elbows. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or if I want to keep it as is. I'm worried it might just like affect the wearability of the sweater and just kind of take away from the classic feeling. And I'm not making this, I am making this to be a replica of merch, but I'm also making it because I really like the idea of it. You know, I like the design. So let me know what you would do. Would you add the star patches or not? Would you add any patches? I think I'll have a better idea once I see it all together. So this is what I have so far for the folklore cardigan. Slow and steady wins the race, I guess. But I'm feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. I am feeling it now, but it's so squishy. It's so soft. I love this yarn. And I know I'm just gonna love this sweater once I finish it. And I do hope it fits, which I think it will. I need to have this done by the end of the year. Like, absolutely need to get this done by the end of the year. That is the folklore cardigan. The next thing that I have is something that I didn't show you last time. I showed you the yarn, but I didn't show you the item, and I got some decent work on it. I worked on this mostly when we went to Baltimore, and then I brought it to like a trivia night one night, and just a few nights when we've been sitting on the couch. And this is the Solo Scarf by Caidree, and I'm knitting this in Originally Lovely Lana in Merlot. I've talked about this yarn. There will be an affiliate link in the description, and it was a gifted yarn, but I'm really enjoying working this up and having this kind of experience and this stretchiness to this pattern. So the pattern, it's a triangle shaped scarf, and it's broken up with different purl ridges and stockinette ridges. And I just really, first of all, love the color. I don't know where this tinsel is coming from, but I really love the color, and I am really enjoying the feel of the yarn. It feels almost softer when it's knit up, so I can't really explain that, but I'm liking it. This is one of my favorite colors. I like the stretchiness and squishiness of this pattern and the fullness of the yarn and how it feels in this scarf. I think I opted for size 5mm needles, and the pattern I think calls for 4.5 with whatever yarn Caidree uses, but I think that's fine. And yeah, I'm moving right along. This one's like kind of my lowest priority. This is how much I have left of the first ball. I think I might try to make it with 2 or 4 balls of yarn. We'll see. I think maybe 2.5. We'll see how far we get into the second. I have 3 other balls. So yeah, that is a quick look at the Solo Scarf by Caidree. Very simple, but like fun and easy, and I think will be a good addition. I am feeling the need for accessories. It's cold now. Yeah, I'm just like, when am I going to have something off my needles? It is November. It's fine, I'm fine. It's fine. It's not like I haven't knit things in the past, but like I just want more things. And the last whip update that I have is at my baby project. So last episode, I was showing you yarn that I got for a project for my family member who's expecting, and it's very exciting. And I originally had in my head that I wanted to make a sweater and a blanket. Started the sweater, and it was cute, but I wasn't in love with it. And I'll show you a picture. I had it being a white sweater with gray, baby blue, and like baby seafoam green little tiny stripes. And honestly, the stripes were jogging. I actually haven't knit in that kind of striping before, and I didn't realize about the jogs until it was too late. And I also just wasn't liking how the colors were looking together. And the more I thought of it, the more I was like, white is such a stupid idea to have as your main color, at least in a sweater for a baby. I scrapped it. I frogged it, and I wanted to start on something else. Also, just like working on the project, I did not feel good about it, and I just want it to be nice. And so I've decided to pivot and start working on the baby blanket, which I have been focusing on for the past 3 days or so. And that is the Sweetshop blanket by Penrose. And it is turning out so cute already, and it's just like squares at this point. So this is what I have so far, and this is, I'm showing you the wrong side. This is what I have so far of the blanket. This blanket is comprised of garter stitch squares that you use short rows to create, and I am utilizing these 3 colors for the blanket. So if you could imagine, I had the white as the main color for a sweater, and then it was like two rows of white and then 1 row of each of these colors. I think I would like to maybe try that with gray as the main color or something else. And I think I just wanted to focus on the blanket instead of a sweater. And then if I have time to knit them up a hat or something, I know that will come together really quickly. in time for Christmas, we'll approach that, but I wanted to focus my energy on the blanket since it's going to take me the most amount of time. I really wish I did start this sooner. Baby blanket size allegedly will take 30 squares, and we are currently 26 days out from Christmas. So I would like to do a square a day, but a square takes about 2 hours. I don't know where I'm gonna find the time. I think I'm just gonna have to do that thing that like people that read 100 books a year do, where you like wake up and you knit, and then you like before you go to bed you knit, and you like go to the toilet and you knit, and you like, I should be knitting right now while I'm talking to you about this. I need to really focus and lock in. I also do think, since I'm using a worsted weight yarn, I feel like these squares look bigger than what I thought they were going to be. I followed the stitch count in the pattern, and I know that this is a worsted weight, and I think the samples were used making fingering held double, so the DK. So I think the squares will be a little bit bigger, which is good. And I'm like, I wonder how much. So if you look at these 2 squares as a frame of reference, it's supposed to be 4 squares by 6 squares. No. Yes. That's not 30. 5 squares by 6 squares, I'm pretty sure. But if it's 4 by 6, that's only 24. I need to recount. So I will do that. But this is what it's starting on so far. I hate to say squishy. I love the squishiness of the garter stitch. I think it'll just be a really, that was my cat's automatic feeder. It'll just be a really sweet, soft thing. I got to see the baby's nursery while I was home, and it's a lot of grays, and I think it'll fit in really nicely with the theme they're going with. And I'm just very excited to have this for the baby, and I am primarily focusing on the blanket before I even start my next sleeve for the folklore cardigan. So I'm in a space where I just wish I could like take a week off of work and sit home and knit. I currently am not able to do that. Maybe one day. I will have time after Christmas off, but that's not going to really serve me in my gift knitting now, is it? We'll steam ahead on everything off needles by 2024 so that I can maybe just like cast on another sweater for 2023, like at the beginning of the year. And then I also wanted to make another sweetshop blanket next year with all the minis that I got. So we'll see how I'm feeling about garter stitch squares after I finish this one. But it seems like it'll be really enjoyable to have on the needles when I'm not under a time crunch. So I did this to myself with the gift knitting. This is really the only gift I'm knitting this year, unless I decide to make ornaments or something, which I would also like to do, but yeah. And I would like to start planning, but I think I'm just gonna have to do a 2024 planning video, because at this point there's nothing I'm really planning else to do until January, and I can't believe it's almost December. This year's been kind of kooky, crazy, and wild, but always glad to have knitting to come back to. And that is everything that I have for knitting. I haven't purchased any new yarn this past month. I've just been knitting and hoping to work on new things and kind of resisting the siren calls of Cyber Monday and Black Friday deals, because I have a lot on my plate right now, or a lot of my needles. It feels like a lot for me. I'm, again, mostly a monogamous knitter, so this feels like a lot. Yeah, and just kind of figuring that out. So that's what I have on deck right now. Let's chat a little about media. So I always like to include some media recommendations, talk about what I've been listening to or watching this month. I have something that I usually don't have, which is a movie. I usually don't like going to see movies because I don't like sitting through them. You can't see your knitting, so I usually don't bring it. And I usually don't like sitting through 2.5 hours of anything. That being said, my friend and I went and saw the new Hunger Games movie last night. And it's like one of those movies that the next day you're still kind of like thinking about it. It was really well done. I thought it was great. It was a lot more violent than the other Hunger Games franchises, which was like not my favorite thing because I'm just a little sensitive young girl. but I just, it's not my favorite thing. I don't love it. That being said, I am still watching The Sopranos, which is also gratuitously violent. I don't love the violence, but it was very well done. Tom Blythe is so hot. It was really hot in the movie. What can I say? I thought it was heavy on the singing, but Rachel Zegler is very talented. But I was like, okay, Rachel, enough. I was like, that's enough singing for now. That's enough, girl. But other than that, I actually thought it was really well done. It was very good. I would recommend it. And I'm also entering my favorite thing to do, which is just watching like really bad Christmas movies. One of my favorite things about going home is just turning on a Hallmark movie with my mom and like heckling it the entire time because they're so predictable and silly, and no one wears hats in the winter, and that really pisses me off. Like, what do you mean it's snowing and you're cold but you're not wearing a hat? Like, that's the most important thing you should be covering, is your head. No one wears hats in Christmas movies, and it enrages me. Anyway, I could knit them hats. Hallmark, do you need hand knit hats for your costume department? Don't call me. The ethics of you as a company to me are a little murky, so don't call me. However, come on now. That really annoys me. That's what I'll be watching. I'll have to watch some of my favorite Christmas movies this winter. Those include The Holiday. I think I might need to do a cast and stitches video with the cast of The Holiday. I think that might be my next one. Elf is a classic. I just got tickets to see White Christmas at Alamo Drafthouse with my friend. If you don't know what Alamo Drafthouse is, this is one of those, like, I hate to say like a fancy city thing, but like kind of. It's, and I think they don't have them just in cities, but like I did not have this where I grew up. You go to a movie theater and they, like, you can order food and they bring you food. So they do a White Christmas brunch, and I missed it last year with my friend, and this year, like, we just got the tickets today. I'm so excited. It's both of our favorite Christmas movies. That movie has everything. Here's my pitch for White Christmas if you haven't seen it. This movie has everything. And has the US military industrial complex, men dressing up as women, snow, men crying, lying, deceit, Rosemary Clooney, costumes, Danny Kaye, tap dancing. Like, I don't know what else you need in a movie. It has everything. It's so perfect. I love it. One of my classics. So that's what I'm kind of looking to turn to. I'm also so excited. I think I said this in my knit and chat video for like Vlogmas and what I knit this year and knitting plans for 2024. That always makes me very excited. Yeah, I'm ready for the festive season. I decorated for Christmas like way before Thanksgiving, which isn't saying a lot because I don't have a big tree. So I feel entitled to do that. My little dollar bin pillow. Yeah, I'm very excited for the holiday season. It is upon us. It is among us. Have I read any books this month? I just got some book of the month books. I will let you know what I think of them. And I also have another promo with them coming up in December, so you'll see some more. I think I read something and I can't remember. I finished Happy Place by Emily Henry this month. Like, wow, an Emily Henry book, groundbreaking. I finally got the hold list at the library. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. At first, I did not like it. I didn't like the guy. I forget his name already, but like I didn't like him, and then I ended up liking him and her. So that was a good book. I enjoyed it. Yeah. If you want a reality TV kind of full recap, I spent like 15 minutes in my knit and chat video last week talking about it, so I won't rehash that here. But we are in the golden age of television, everyone, so sit back and enjoy. So with that, I am planning on doing Vlogmas in a weekly fashion. So I'm hoping to put out 4 vlogs over the month of December. I just think it'll be fun. Like, I used to watch Vlogmas when I was 13 years old. So like now I'm making Vlogmas videos. Mama, I made it, you know? So I'm looking forward to that and some other maybe festive types of videos, getting to maybe do some other kind of festive crafts, making some decorations, things like that. Just being like into the season, but also being present and enjoying it, because I know sometimes it can just feel like so much, and I know it can also be hard for people. So just trying to provide a little like levity and coziness and light during these times. So I will leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching 20 episodes of this podcast, and I hope to see y'all soon. Bye.